Joining us now is OG Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Genix.
Yes, I have stories.
How are you?
Good morning, Dr.
Thank God
Abati.
it's Friday.
You know I love your gray jacket.
Thank you.
TGIF.
Stylist. Stylist.
You're looking great.
Thank you.
Good morning, Tundu Abiola.
Good morning, OJ. You're looking great too.
Thank you.
I like this dress.
Thank you.
Our viewers are missing this detail.
I have a tiny detail, yes.
Yes.
But you remember this dress, right?
Yes, I do. It's very
we repeat
memorable.
sometimes.
It's a memorable dress and it's gorgeous.
You look great. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Najee.
How are you this morning?
Very well.
Well, happy Friday to you.
Oh, yeah, happy Friday. Yeah, it's Friday already. Oh, goodness me.
Yes, it is. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth approved the 2021 honorary awards to foreign nationals on Thursday, and Nigerian businessman Henry Yobe was conferred with Commander of the Order of the British Empire for his services to the public and political service. And billionaire Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation and Fox News Media have announced a collaboration with TV host Piers Morgan to host a television show on its new British channel, Talk TV, which will start early next year. Murdoch, who posed alongside Piers Morgan to announce the deal, said Piers is the broadcaster every channel wants, but is too afraid to hire. In Nigeria, a video that captured the moment, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, staggered off stage after he ended a speech abruptly at an event in Abuja on Thursday, has made the rounds. Shortly after the incident, the chairman confirmed that he is hale and hearty and only suffered from dehydration. Under sports, Nigeria's First Lady, Aisha Buhari, on Thursday, September 16th, urged Nigerian girls to embrace football as a career path while hosting the president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, at the State House in Abuja. Photos of the First Lady and President Muhammadu Buhari receiving their customized jerseys from the FIFA president have made the rounds. Finally, under entertainment, the White House on Thursday offered to connect multiple award-winning rapper Nicki Minaj with one of the Biden administration's doctors to answer questions about the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines after the rapper's controversial claims that her cousin's friend had swollen testicles after being vaccinated and also became impotent went viral. Well, let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. Femi Fani-Kayode, the former Minister of Aviation, was trending on social media after news that he had joined the ruling All Progressives Congress began circulating online. The former minister's defection comes several months after he vehemently denied dumping the People's Democratic Party. Fani-Kayode was on Thursday presented to President Muhammadu Buhari by Mai Mala Buni, Chairman Caretaker Committee of the APC, and the Governor of Yobe State at the presidential villa in Abuja. Well, according to Fani-Kayode, he was led by the Spirit of God in his decision to join the APC. Well, some Nigerians on social media commenting on the news recalled when the former minister on several occasions rejected the APC. Well, before we take some reactions, let's take a quick listen to an interview he granted in 2015, which has now gone viral.
These people want to take power at all costs. Buhari himself, when he was asked just a few days ago, if you lose the election, what will happen? He said that will never happen, and if it happens, we will see what will happen after that. It is threat after threat. I don't believe that the Nigerian people will ever vote for a man that believes that we should drag this country back. A man with a pitiful and disgraceful record. When he was in power, he locked people up, he created people, he killed people with retroactive legislation, he carried people on the streets of London illegally, turned Nigeria into a pariah nation, a man that looted PTF, and I say that because the report, I was in government when the Haruna Adamu report was filed, I discussed it with President Obasanjo at the time, I know what the President told myself and Aki Oshutoku privately, if not for the fact that the main person in that report, that is a man by Siraju and in-law Buhari, dropped dead the day that we decided to prosecute Buhari for it. That man would have been the key prosecution witness and Buhari would have been in jail by now.
Well, Rufai, I guess he granted an interview yesterday where he said President Muhammadu Buhari is not the same man as before, and that he has changed, and that the APC is not the same party as before. I hope that he gets to apologize to the president for these comments he's made so far.
So it's obvious that it's the Holy Spirit that told him that President Buhari has changed, because he said the Holy Spirit informed this decision. But I'm not surprised, though. In fact, my reaction will be, what took FFK so long? Because I thought they had confirmed it when he had that photo up with Yaya Bello. That was the confirmation. So what took him so long to offer? Okay, maybe because he needed the photo up with the president. You see, there's a book, Don't Die in Their War. I forget his name now.
Dele Farotimi.
Dele Farotimi. And this is just to show a lot of people that have followed FFK as a beacon of their hope. That, see, in the end, he's just a politician. And for politicians, it's a game of who is bankrolling them. So the question now that has been answered, that who is bankrolling FFK now? It is the APC that is bankrolling him now by this defection, and he has gone to who can bankroll him best. So for me, it's not surprising. Like he rants fire and brimstone. It's a politician. If a politician tells you it's raining, go check. It's sunny out there. Charles de Gaulle, equally a politician himself, says that politicians will say they'll build bridges where there are no rivers. So I'm not so, and I don't see the reason why this should be trending. It's just an indication that we don't know and we trust them so much.
Oh, you don't know why it's trending. It's because of what you have just said.
Let me put the caveat.
Yeah.
Peradventure, if the PDP, peradventure, wins 2023 election, the Holy Spirit will tell FFK to go back to the PDP.
Rufai, Tundu Abiola, your comment on this story before I take a reaction.
Okay, you came with receipts. All I could think watching that was that saying, keep your words soft and sweet in case you have to eat them. But I don't see any kind of apology coming FFK's way towards President Buhari.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think the decamping is enough of an apology. I think they all understand in this business that all is fair in love and war, and all is fair in politics. They take these shots, hit below the belt, say all kinds of vilifications about one another 1 minute, and then the next minute, they're in the same party. Politics has always made strange bedfellows. But in this case, I'm worried about Nigeria and the electorate.
Right.
And like I said a few minutes ago, there's a really good book by Teresa Amato talking about how difficult it is for independent candidates in U.S. elections to get their foot in the door. But the title of the book is what comes to mind. She called it Grand Illusion, then there's a colon. The myth of a two-party system, the illusion of choice in a two-party tyranny. I think that's what we're dealing with here in Nigeria. I feel that the APC, PDP, two-party system is really just in quotes. There's really one party, actually, and it depends on who you're cool with at that given time. It depends on what you want, your selfish, short-sighted ambitions, and that's really all that matters.
Yes.
Zero ideology. It's sad.
Well, people on social media are not forgiving him. They are pulling up different videos and tweets. Let's pull up a tweet before I come to you, Dr. Buddy, which the former minister wrote back in 2019. He wrote, I am committed to opposing the APC and those that are in their ranks for the rest of my natural life, and I will never join them, no matter what. They are nothing but darkness, while I stand for the light of God and truth. There can be no fellowship between light and darkness. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Well, I understand why, Femi Fani-Kayode's vote for us and his decision to join the All Progressives Congress is generating enormous amount of interest. He was one of the most outspoken opposition figures in the last 5-6 years. He was media director, campaign director for the 2015 PDP presidential campaign. And between 2015 to date, he's been very critical, particularly of President Muhammadu Buhari, whom he accuses of being an ethnic bigot, whom he accuses of running a Fulanization agenda. And he described the party, the APC, as a filthy rat-infested Majiri People's Congress. And then, of course, that tweet you took about the difference between light and darkness. So the question is, has Fani-Kayode gone to join the ethnic bigots? Has he crossed over to go and join a rat-infested and filthy ship so that he can share out of the debt? that is inside that ship. So that vote fast, that turnaround, 360 degrees, is what people find shocking, considering the fact that he's a man who is always emphatic in expressing his views. We talked about the Spirit of God. Well, it shouldn't be strange that he's talking about God and conviction. He's also a pastor, a Pentecostal preacher.
Okay.
So he knows the Bible very well.
Okay.
Then when he said the Spirit of God, what I remembered was Acts 9, verses 1 to 19, which is the section of the Bible that talks about Saul's conversion on the road to Damascus. So this is a road to Damascus moment for Femi Fani-Kayode. In the Bible, Saul was told, Saul, why do you persecute me? So did Fani-Kayode hear that voice from President Buhari? And now, this Damascus moment, it's important to see how he manages it. He says he has seen changes in the APC. I hope he will help the APC to explain those changes better to the Nigerian people. He says he's now inside. And now that he's inside, he has had the benefit of ringside observation, and that he's been working from inside to, in fact, help people from the APC to join from the PDP to join the APC, including Governor Ngwanyi. So, can we say that Femi Fani-Kayode, even inside the PDP, was committing anti-party atrocities? But of course, he's an adult. He's covered by the Constitution. He has the right, the absolute right, to the right of association. Okay. He's a lawyer, so he knows. And that's why he says, whether you love me or you hate me, it doesn't matter. He has the absolute right to make his own choices. But I hope that President Buhari would put him to good use, because he's a man of great talent. And he will be very useful in helping to defend and promote the Buhari administration and in helping to define the Buhari legacy. He talks very well and he's very brilliant. If I were to advise the president directly, I'll say, okay, find another assignment for Alhaji Lai Mohammed, and let's have Femi Fani-Kayode as the main spokesperson for this government.
You're the special advisor, Dr. Mati.
Well, he does have the gift of the gab, that's true.
Yes. Well, in another development, users on social media have reacted to reports indicating that Senator Shehu Sani, who represented Kaduna Central Senatorial District in the 8th Assembly from 2015 to 2019 on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, has joined the People's Democratic Party. Well, let's take an Instagram reaction from author and activist Reno Omokri, who wrote, "The PDP lost FFK and gained Shehu Sani. I would say that it's like Manchester United losing Sergio Romero and gaining Cristiano Ronaldo. That is a net gain indeed. Congratulations, PDP. Congratulations, Shehu Sani. #table shaker. Quickly, a comment from you.
So for me, I think further, to deepen the political landscape, we need to start putting transfer fees to all this political defection so that at least we know what it costs. Like that FFK, will it cost in the range of Cristiano Ronaldo? What will Shehu Sani cost? Because, this is transfer season all over again. But that's how deplorable our politics have been. Isn't that politics anywhere in the world?
A comment from you, Tunduru.
The same thing. You make a voter choice. We're not choosing between two parties. It's the same old, same old.
We'll take another story real quick. Following the airstrike that killed 9 people in Yobe State, the Nigerian Air Force on Thursday says it has started an investigation into the incident. The jet was said to be targeting members of the Islamic State in West African province, ISWAP, but accidentally hit a village in the state, killing 9 people and injured several others on Wednesday. The governor of the state, Mai Mala Buni, has commiserated with the families of the victims and has directed government hospitals in the areas the incident occurred to offer free medical services to those who sustained injuries in the disaster. Dr. Abati, this is completely unacceptable what happened on Wednesday. This is not the first time this type of incident is happening. And they keep telling us that they are going to investigate the matter. We haven't even gotten reports from the last incident that occurred. A quick comment from you.
Yeah, this is the incident that occurred in Buhari village in Yunusari local government area. And the initial response of the Nigerian Air Force was to say, well, this was not true and all of that, as they did in previous incidents. They don't usually claim immediate responsibility. But in the statement issued by Air Commodore Edward Gapquet, as the Director of Communications for the Nigerian Air Force, you know, they regret their initial position that they have taken, and now investigation will be conducted. But the question to raise is that, yes, accidents occur. You know, even the military makes mistakes when they are, you know, trying to go on operations. But when civilians become targets or they suffer some kind of collateral damage, then questions are usually raised in military circles about the efficiency of the operation, one, about the quality of intelligence that is available, and then even more importantly, about the quality of the technology that was deployed. In some other parts of the world, they use drones to do the to fight.
Yes,
you know, they use heavy end of the game technology to identify targets on the ground. But here, if the aircraft or the Air Force is not dropping from the sky, you know, they are, you know, bombing wrong targets. That's what makes it very disturbing for many Nigerians. But I hope that this investigation that has been ordered will not just be investigation into this specific incident, but an audit of the capability of the Nigerian Air Force and the quality of the technology that they deploy in combat situations. Our commiserations to the families of those who lost their lives in this needless, perhaps avoidable accident.
Yes.
And but good response from the governor, who has even said they should be given free medical services. The injured, that is. Those who have died in vain because they are in a country where there are more mistakes than quality results.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Tundu, before I take your comment, in another development, the chairman of the Senate Committee on the Army, Senator Ali Ndume, on Thursday, urged security agencies in the country to be ruthless with bandits terrorizing the northern region. In this video that is now making the rounds, the senator says terrorists have no human rights. Let's take a listen.
If we can identify the bandits that have been killing people recklessly, you don't have to waste time to kill them. And I'm sure some of you are of that. Then you start talking about human rights. Which right? What of the right of the people that were killed? Small children, women raped by these people. And then when the Nigerian army stands up to them, and then they kill our soldiers, ambush them, put AIDs or whatever to blow them off, and then now you start asking me questions about their human rights. This is very unfortunate.
All right, Tundu, your comment on Ali Ndume. Do terrorists have human rights? What do you make
I think everybody has human rights, even terrorists. I know exactly where he's coming from. Yes. I completely empathize with his position. But even Guantanamo, Al Ghuraib, all those prisons, when we saw the way prisoners were treated, the whole world was horrified. We were sickened. No matter what a person is accused of, they do have human rights. That said, we also have the president with his shoot-on-sight order, which I haven't heard of one person being shot on sight, by the way. But so it gets to the point where in a fight against terrorism, a fight against insurgency, people do feel that people's human rights can be suspended. But for me, I worry about the slippery slope. If you say terrorism and human rights don't correlate, other people can now be accused of terrorism. That attack can be, you can be labeled in that way and denied of your human rights. I worry about that from a legal perspective. But regarding Yobe and that accident that we're told, with those fatalities, I actually don't think the governor went far enough. I don't think it's enough to say free medical care. I'm thinking, yeah, so what? What about compensation? Human lives were lost. Free medical care for me does not begin to cut it.
Right. Rufai, your take on both stories.
What's even the quality of the free medical care? That's another question. What will it cover? That's another question. But this has happened one too many times. And we need to do investigation and know what is happening. The same thing happened a couple of years back in Rana. An IDP camp was bombed mistakenly. We can't continue to allow this. No, it's not right. The fact alone that in our country, our military flies Air Force planes to bomb locations in Nigeria
unacceptable
is an indication that things have gone out of hand because of bandits and the like. The question is, when did Nigeria get to this level? And for bandits, that, yes, we might say they have human rights, but I think in a bid not to allow them the rights quickly is to destroy them at the battlefront so that we don't talk about rights.
Oh, that
because there are people too that are in IDP camps now that when you look at it critically, They ought not to be there. But their right to livelihood have been taken away by these terrorists. But let's dial back to the bigger problems. Poverty in the north. Somebody talked about the Almajiri system. We can't allow this continue. We need to change the structure, the social mobility structure in the north. Because if that doesn't happen, this will continue for years. The Almajiris of 20 years ago, God knows how they turned out. The Almajiris of today, do we know how they are going to turn out?
Dr. Abati, your
well,
comment
very
on
quickly, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1949, is called Universal Declaration for a purpose. It means that every human being is entitled to those rights as universally declared and as domesticated in various jurisdictions across the world. Now, even war people commit war crimes, they also have rights. That's why we have the Geneva Convention. However, the basic principle about criminal justice administration is that if you commit a crime, there are processes for you to be apprehended and for you to be taken through a fair due process, right? So, but when people in Nigeria come up and they say, oh, terrorists, yes, terrorists have human rights, but if they commit crimes, it is the duty of the state to make sure that they are sanctioned. It is the duty of the state under the principle of responsibility to protect. The state has a responsibility to protect everyone, all of us. And if some groups constitute themselves into a threat and violate the state's responsibility to protect, it is the duty of the state to make sure that they are not allowed to do so. The problem we have here is that, we hide under the principle of integration, rehabilitation, reconciliation, and we begin to treat criminals with kid gloves. And that's why many Nigerians have said even bandits should be treated as terrorists.
Right.
Because that is not acceptable. Terrorism is not acceptable anywhere in the world because it poses a threat not just to your immediate community, but to everybody. So if what Senator Ali Ndume, Senate Committee Chairman on the Army, is saying that terrorists should be punished for their crime, then of course is in order. But if he phrases it to say they don't have human rights, well, I mean, they are also entitled to fair hearing. They are not entitled to free jollof and free ashwebi. That is the one that many other Nigerians are bothered about.
Well, I was waiting for that. Dr. Abati, I was waiting for that too. We'll take our final story. It's a video of a 17-year-old girl with the most amazing vocals and goes by the name Sally. In this video, Sally, who appears to have had no vocal training, was prompted to sing along to a tune and delivered an amazing rendition, unrehearsed. Let's take a listen.
Your papa, they know say they do music.
How old are you?
17.
Now that girl, they talk that time.
Yeah, we'll be sure you have video.
What's your name?
Sally.
So if I play anything now, gone, now you will sing. Are you sure she will do it?
You can hop on any beat.
Are you shy? Are you sure? May not go be say, you go play. Now this girl where we, I know what now. Who are you?
Lost, bruh. Like I wanna just be born again. Be pampered like I'm whole again. Need to be safe, I deserve that shit. I deserve that. I deserve more than life gives. If I'm not mistaken, I'm too sad to be faking. Only if you know what it takes me. It's alright, I'll be fine. It's just a matter of time. I'm a star, so hard to find. Come in hard, you better hide. I'ma blind your eye. I'ma lead your soul. Music has me on. Music got me going. Music is my therapy. My therapy. My therapy.
Yeah.
Do you have a manager?
Do you have a manager like this?
Your parents, they have never heard you sing.
Someone sign up Sally. I mean, look at that. That was so beautiful. She says music is her therapy. I was so moved when I watched this video and I thought I should share it.
I'm glad you did.
Yes.
What a like enormously talented young lady,
Yeah.
only 17.
She's only
This is one of
17,
our
she's-
diamonds in the rough.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And she's so beautiful. Dr. Bate, a quick comment before we
Well,
wrap
I
up
mean,
the
this
show.
was making the rounds yesterday,
Yes.
and it was quite interesting to see this very talented young lady. Well, she was asked the question, does she have a manager? Apparently, she doesn't. So I would like to call on the likes of Don Jazzy.
Yes.
Jazzy, you know, you have some work out here for you. If you can, if Don Jazzy gets the girl, she can turn her, into something. And there are others out there, big producers out there, who can assist her to groom her. That's what they do in other parts of the world. They discover talents.
Absolutely.
And I hope she gets someone to help out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Oji.
Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you next week.